heels and a nice sweet top. Doing on our backs when we drop it like it's hot. I don't usually smoke, but here, do you have a light? It must be girls' night. Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Bimbo and Butch podcast. I am Butch, aka Emer.
And I am Jenna, aka Bimbo. And this podcast is sponsored by onthepodiumprizes.com, where you can get tickets for free for £500 Sephora gift card, and then all our tickets as low as 49p for £7,000 in cash.
Hotels, holidays, everything.
You name it, they've got it. The best up and coming online prize platform, what we say?
Yeah, I think we can say that.
I think we could say that.
How have you been this week?
I've been good. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been alright.
Busy?
Oh my god, you know I'm always busy.
Okay, I know you're always busy, but here, what can we talk about? I don't know if we can, because I don't know. Have you watched Wuthering Heights? Because
No.
people are let's end that conversation.
It's not the kind of thing I would like.
I've
As far as I'm aware. Is it like old timey kind of?
I have no idea, but people
Should
are
people fall in
losing
love?
their fucking goddamn minds over it.
Julie, have you seen it? Seems like something Julie watched.
No. Oh, like, Julie hasn't had time to brush her hair. Never mind watch
That's
Wuthering
right.
Heights.
So it's just real.
Have you not? Sorry, that's just the same. We say in
My
Derry.
mum asks me that all the time. If you brush your hair today?
Oh, sorry,
My mum
Julie, I'm
always says to
offending
me,
her
"Would
a
you
lot,
put
a
a
lot
comb through your
today.
hair?" I've not seen it. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it?
I can smell the nickel of my fake sheen rings
I'd be rash.
every time I move my hands.
Wafting.
You'd be waft. Better keep them like this. No, so my sister has seen Wuthering Heights, and then I've been watching a few different podcasts with girls, and it's saying that they've watched it and they were reviewing it and stuff, and I don't know if it's my thing.
I don't think it'll be my thing.
I don't think it's my thing.
My thing's horror,
Death,
murder. Do you know what I did just watch?
What?
I don't know if people have watched. Have you seen on Netflix The TikTok Murderer?
No, is it good? Because I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yeah.
That's my night.
I did think it was.
I'm going to lie
really
like this,
good.
fully dressed, watching the
Yeah.
TikTok murder like this.
I thought it was good. Really creepy and really sad.
Is it only new?
Very interesting. It's brand new.
Great.
It's brand new. So there's that. I watched that. I've also just started the first episode of the America's Next Top Model documentary.
I watched it all.
What did you think?
Well, there's the documentary, and then there is also a podcast on it.
Oh, okay.
So the podcast on it is bringing on all old contestants and what they had to say about what Tyra was hiding. So what do you think about it so far?
Well,
I loved America's Next Top Model, don't get me wrong. I wanted to be on it.
Well, I didn't want to be on it, but I mean, I loved watching it.
Aye. I know why.
Watching all the gals. I loved it because people might be surprised by this, but I love fashion and I love women's fashion, even though I don't wear it.
Right.
So America's Next Top Model, anything to do with modelling, anything to do with fashion. There was Next in Fashion was on a couple of years ago on Netflix, which was Tan France from Queer Eye and Alexa Chung, and it was designers all over the world making high-end fashion for different models and stuff. So all that kind of thing I really love, but I do not love things that are focused on appearance and stuff like that. But when I was watching America's Next Top Model, I was a child. And
you
I
would
just
never get away with a thing. Now looking back, you would never get away with that.
But also, back then, it was like, it's like it was groundbreaking. You know, Tyra Banks was saying, you know, I know what it's like to be different in the fashion industry and in the modelling industry. And, you know, I'm a woman who's black and I'm this and I'm that. And I'm you know, I just thought at the time, class. But now I've only watched the first episode. So it's just been introduced. And do you remember Jay?
There's two J's.
So
the dark-haired Jay and then the light-haired Jay.
Yes.
Grey-haired Jay.
So there's Jay, who was the
Miss
makeup
J.
artist, and there's Miss J, who was the
Yeah.
catwalk,
Yes.
incredible,
Yeah.
whatever. And I loved it back then too, because I thought, oh my God, well, here's two clearly gay guys,
Yeah.
one of whom is very gender bendery on big mainstream TV, and obviously for me as a young gay person, like I just thought this
And
is
way
incredible.
back then, he was going by Miss J.
I know. It wasn't even like he was, you know, the typical camp man that you would have seen, you know, started to see back then. Like, he was so over the top and so feminine and all. So I loved it from that point of view. Because, and I then got this obsession, I want to move to America because I thought everyone's so open-minded and all. Obviously, that's not the case.
Don't go there.
Don't go. But yeah, I thought it was class. So I've only watched the first episode, and in the first episode, it is just introducing all the characters, introducing Tyra. There's been nothing too horrific showing yet, but I'm sure they're going to show a dark side of it. But so far, all I've got is her coming on, and I mean, I nearly didn't recognise her because she looks different.
She
to
looks
the clips,
different,
but she's stunning,
and gorgeous,
and she's kind of saying, got this big break, and so far, from where I'm sitting, it sounds like a very inspirational story of someone who's made good. But I assume there's going to come in all the issues and the things they made them do and stuff. What's coming?
Well, it does get a bit not great for Tyra, but the actual podcast is it's not connected to Tyra or anyone. It's just like alone someone made the podcast and has brought on past contestants to talk about it, and it's really, really bad. Really bad. It puts Tyra in such a bad light.
Really?
Real bad. And America's Next Top Model.
Tell me.
America's Next Top Model as a whole. Like, they weren't given any psychological help or anything after, and even ones who would won America's Next Top Model weren't getting what they were
what they were promised.
Weren't at all getting any cover girl things, and she was home, like one of them was homeless, sleeping on her friend's sofa after winning America's Next Top Model. It was just like more for show than anything.
Promised the world.
So you need to listen to that podcast.
Remember the weird photo shoots they used to make them do?
So there's context behind each individual reason why they done those weird photo shoots. So say like one of the girls, like, so before they go on to America's Next Top Model, they were assessed by a psychiatrist, and like they were given these lists of questions like what's your biggest fear, and blah blah blah, and like say it came out in therapy that one of the girls was bulimic in her younger years. So on the photo shoots they made her be a bulimic model. Did you see that shit?
I probably did, because I watched all the seasons when I was younger, but I can't remember. But it was always like, really, I always remember thinking, oh my god, this is so weird, but they made it out like it was so innovative and groundbreaking. So there was like, if it had been, oh, my father was tragically killed by being kicked in the head on a horse, it would be like, get her and a horse for the next photo shoot. Do you know,
stand beside the horse.
It was so weird.
So
but it was
context behind
TV.
Yeah. So the models were expected to go ahead and produce these amazing images with something that gave them great psychological fear, like putting a tarantula in your hand.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
So they were putting on their question box, I have such a fear of whatever it is. And then them saying, right, let's get you into a phone box, clattered in tarantulas, and give us your best pose. And then if you didn't do it, you were going home. And these girls were coming from nothing, like small countries thinking, wee country, gorgeous girls thinking that this was going to be the best thing ever, but little did they know that they were being used for entertainment value. Oh,
it's sad, but I literally the first episode, none of that has been gone into yet, so I'm gonna watch it. But you know what I did? I thought, oh, my girlfriend would like to watch that too, and we can kind of watch it together and talk about it and all. So I waited to watch it with her. I walked in one day, she was in the last episode. I said, what the hell's that you're watching? She says, oh, it's the thing about America's Next Top. I said, I have been waiting to watch that with you. And she's like, oh, well, you didn't say. And I said, well, see if there's ever anything new documentary that comes out that you think I'll like.
Did she just not think that you had been to America's Next Top Model?
No. And I thought, right, we'll give her a pass on that one. I was in Spain there. I FaceTimed her. I could see the TV in the back. I said, what the hell's that?
Are you cheating on me again?
She said, the TikTok killer? I said, you know I love TikTok and I love killers. You know that I was
she watched that as
well?
Watched
that too. And here's me.
Twice.
Here's me watching nothing. Waiting for it.
Looking at the blank wall, waiting for her to come home
Staring
from
at the
work.
wall, waiting for her to come home from work.
Do you know what I binged recently?
What?
Mr. Mercedes.
Is that good?
Brilliant. One
what
of the best
about?
serial killer.
Oh, I would like it.
Aye. You would love it. It's so good. 4 seasons, wasn't it?
I might watch it. I might put that on my list because I like always knowing what I have to watch next. And my dad was saying the Lincoln Lawyer's fantastic.
I've seen that advertised, but I've not.
He said
not
it's very good. Do you know what we're watching at the minute? I think I've told you this before.
What?
Game of Thrones. So, Game of Thrones is Sam's favourite TV show in the world. And I always, this is how I know I don't bow to societal pressure because I've never watched it despite being told for years to watch it. But she really wanted to. And I was like, no, I don't like that kind of thing. Don't like fantasy. Don't like anything set back in time. But she just was like, oh, but I love it and I want to share that with you and I thought, fine. So started watching with her. Took me to season 4.5 to get into it.
I would 4.5 minutes.
But now I'm like, do I watch Game of Thrones? But it's kind of good because it's so the opposite of anything that I would ever watch. So I kind of like that my mind's being opened a little bit.
No, well, it brings me back to my dating app days whenever I was on dating apps and I was chatting to this one fella and it was like, what's your favourite colour? Kind of bland chat at the start. And then he said, have you ever watched Game of Thrones? And I said no. And then user not found.
Blocked and deleted you? Oh my God.
And I thought, fuck me, is it that good?
Of all the things.
Of all the things, I had just told him everything about me, my spinal cord injury, my baggage that I come with.
You haven't watched Game of Thrones, block and delete?
Nah, away you go. I don't care how good you think you are, you're on your way.
It is pretty good.
Do you know, that actually puts me in mind of, we have some questions to answer.
Oh, I love questions.
One of them put me, because obviously I have to screenshot them because it's only up for 24 hours. So I try not to read them. Because I like being as natural. I just and then I will read them after. But one of them last night said, so this is from Lauren. Oh, sorry, Laura. We love your podcasts, but what other podcasts do you both like to listen to? Well, for me personally, apart from My Life and Me by Jenna McCusker and Class or Pass by Emer Maguire.
Both great podcasts. My Life and Me is great.
Class or Pass. Actually, tell us about Class or Pass.
Yeah, it's very new.
It's new in the podcast thing.
New podcast, my new podcast. I thought, do you know what? I would like a wee space just to chat and have the crack. Obviously, we get to do this, but we don't meet up every week to do this. We record a couple at a time, and then time goes on, and we don't see each other. And I'm in need of a bit of crack. So I thought, I'll set up a wee thing in my office, and I'll record a podcast. So yes, it's called Class or Pass. Go on and look for it now. It's out. Second episode.
There's not an Instagram page for it. It's
no,
because I was on looking for it and I was like, where is this page? Has she blocked me from it already?
It's on my Instagram, but it's on YouTube. So it's a video podcast as well and an audio one. So it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts and all that. And basically the premise is every week I get given a couple of different topics and I have to say if I think they're class or if I would give them a pass. And it's things that are, maybe a bit controversial. So like public proposals or the one that just came out today was men in skinny jeans or should kids be allowed in bars, all this kind of stuff. But it's or Crocs, which I love. But it's things that people generally have opinions on. Childhood sweethearts, that was one. Do they actually ever work out? Should parents be allowed to invite people to your wedding? All these kind of things. Okay. So just have the crack and just chat about them and then decide at the end, I think they're class or were to give them a pass. So we've just 2 episodes out at the minute, but it is well good crack.
Aye.
So
I've watched the first one.
The second one's only coming out later today, but please, it'll be out now actually by the time this comes out, and the third one might be as well. But please go and listen to it and like it and subscribe and all that crack. If you like this, it'll basically be this, but without Jenna and Julie.
So she stole my fucking idea.
Jenna's like, oh,
my concept, my theme, my name, and ran away and had in her office and is doing it in her own now.
Whenever I posted about it, this is I'm doing a podcast, I get a text from her all capitals. Hey, now, fucking doing a podcast, well. And I said, me, myself, and I. She was like, oh, it's okay.
That's okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
And you'll do one, Jenna.
We'll do. So, I said, you know what? Fair enough, because I have one, so I can't say anything.
That's true. So we both have our separate lives, and then we come together for Bimbo and Butch.
Do you know someone messaged me and they said, I have just come across My Life and Me podcast, and I'm absolutely shook. I didn't realise that was you. You're normal. You're normal? Because they watch me in Bimbo and Butch.
Oh, what is that? Normal.
But she was thinking, like, oh my God, you're so professional. Like, how do you go from so professional to that level of, like, intellect? I don't know if she said that word, but I'll put that on anyway. She didn't. To Bimbo and Butch.
Do you having the crack?
You're
layered.
I'm 50-50.
You're an onion.
Like, I can't be 100% serious and 100% stupid.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to be
Good
good
in
balance.
between. Good balance.
Since we are all massive animal lovers here on the Bimbo and Butch podcast, we have proudly been sponsored by Danos Petshop. Now, Danos Petshop is based in Strabane, and they've also opened a store in Derry in 2023. And Danos is your one-stop shop for all things pet related. So they sell pet food, pet treats, pet shampoo, anything pet related that you need is sold by Danos.
Absolutely. And we're all dog owners here. Well, you were dog owner. Taz sadly passed recently. Julie allegedly has a dog, and I have 2 dogs. Everyone knows, but they do stuff for dogs, birds, fish, cats, tiny animals, everything. And they also I love that the stores in Strabane. Obviously, I'm from Strabane. You're from Derry, so we've got a sponsor that's very local to us. And you mentioned the food there. No, they do some of the hypoallergenic food. They do.
That's right.
Is it Whistler's?
Whistler's dog food.
Yeah, I might take a wee run down there because people in the podcast know from last week that Albie was very sick and had pancreatitis and was in the vet hospital for a week.
That's right.
And he has to go on low-fat food now, so I might go down to Danos to get sorted out. And they have mystery boxes.
I seen that.
Do you know where you get mystery boxes for like makeup and stuff, for like football shirts?
Yeah.
They have a natural mystery box where it's all different treats and you don't know what you're getting. So
For your dog. That is
absolutely.
So
Well, for your dog, I assume it's not for me.
well, your
pigs'
cat,
ears,
your
chicken feet.
small fish, whatever animal you have.
Absolutely. So thank you so much to Danos for sponsoring us. We're very appreciative, and we know we have a lot of animal lovers as well who are watching and listening. So head to Danos. What is it? Danos Pet Shop?
DanosPetshop.co.uk, and that's for Danos, and then whistlersdogfood.com for the dog food.
Absolutely. So have a wee check out, and thank you, Danos.
Thank you.
So other podcasts we listen to apart from our own.
Anything murder.
We both love anything murder
Anything.
related. What are your favourites?
Crime Junkies.
Do you listen to Crime Junkies
Love
too on
Crime
my
Junkies.
recommendation? What? Did I recommend that to you?
No, I've been listening to them for years.
Me too.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers. And I'm Brit.
And
Mine Brit nearly died.
My Brit disappeared for ages, and she turned out she was secretly an alcoholic.
What? I thought she took a breed to the brain.
Aye, but she took it because she came out there and says she secretly was an alcoholic.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what? And I'm Brit. She said, yeah, she came on the podcast. It was a very emotional episode. It was crying.
Oh, wow.
So
I
she had
must
a
go
bleed
back.
to the brain. A bleed to the brain.
Oh, I said the same thing.
Bleed to the brain.
I said the exact same thing.
And she then came on and she says, look, guys, I've been having a really hard time. And yeah, she was having a real struggles with alcohol.
Oh, wow. I kind of
know.
stopped listening when it was only Ashley Flowers, because I like Brit sometimes.
Because you like her saying, and I'm Brit.
And I'm Brit, and then going, wait. So
Wait, what?
Wait. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's
So
the kind of
Ashley
thing
does all the
she
work,
does.
tells all the stories, does everything. She's
Aye.
like, wait, what? So she was
Kind of
sort
like me and you.
Yeah, exactly. So she has problems with alcohol.
Oh, I must go
And
back.
that was the outcome of that. But now she's better and
Oh, that's
sober
good.
and all that there, as far as I know.
Well, she was doing a very good job on the drink.
She must have been. I think she must have been like a functional alcoholic. I think that's what she was
Jesus.
saying. Oh, you wouldn't have known. Do you know what I mean?
That shook me.
I know, it shook me too. And obviously she had the brain hemorrhage, but
Aye.
yeah,
So
but
was that
she
brought on
was
with
only 30.
alcohol? Oh, wow. Right, okay.
As far as I know.
I
So
must go
that-
back on
that is
my
something that
drive
can
home and
happen.
listen.
So the episode where she came on and says it, she says, look guys, I haven't been here for a while and I had problems with it. I was crying. It was so emotional. It was so open. So Crime Junkies is one. So they tell, it's 2 best friends and they tell, it's just,
I would love to do a true crime podcast.
Oh, me too.
We should do some.
Because we both love true crime.
Oh my god.
Would anybody watch if we did a true crime?
And we would start with Northern Irish true crime first, because see the amount, obviously because of my job, I'm on my way to get a journal pass.
Oh,
I've just been invited to the journal. Let me get it out.
I get it out.
Get it out and let you all know. Because when you get a media pass or a journal pass, you can kind of like... Remember I got a death threat?
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean it.
So I got a death threat for having a certain guest on, and I was trying to say, like, look, I am a neutral and everything, and you know, I don't have any opinion. I'm here as the host just to host it and ask questions. So I had to apply for my... Oh, I screenshotted it because it was a big deal. Oh, National Union of Journalists welcomed your NUJ. So that means that I am a neutral and I can invite
Welcomed
and
your
speak
nudge.
to anyone.
That's amazing.
So with that background, obviously I do a lot of research, and most of my research goes into true crime, and it never goes anywhere because I don't get to
Yeah.
speak about it. So I'd
True
love
crime.
that.
So we could do Bimbo Butch After Dark, and it could be a true crime one.
God, we
It
should
could
do
be.
that
It'd
for the
be so
Patreon.
good. Yeah, because I love true crime.
And we could delve into, and we'd start in Northern Ireland because I have so many.
I'd be scared to do ones in Northern Ireland because people would.
Controversial.
Yeah, but also because a lot of the people would be
But I mean,
still floating around.
we'd have to fact find.
I know.
You have to just go by what the news is writing and stuff.
Can't trust the mainstream media.
No, you can't.
Only joking. So yeah, so Crime Junkies very good. They tell stories, a different story every week of a murder, whatever.
Did you listen to the one that I recommended to you, and you're going to say no?
No, not yet, because I'm trying to get through Psychopedia first.
What's that?
So Psychopedia is one that I'm listening to that I am obsessed with. So it is Investigator Slater and Tank Sinatra. So Investigator Slater, she is a private investigator for her family's law firm in real
Right.
life. So she does the most insane, amazing research. Different story, different killer every week.
Wow.
And Tank Sinatra is her mate, who's like famous on the internet for making memes. And like she tells him the stories, and he's like, "What? He's not into true crime."
Right.
But they're so funny together, even though the topics are really serious.
So is it like a comedy?
So they
true
call
crime.
it a comedy true crime podcast.
Right, okay.
I mean, some of it's very heavy and not comedy, but he occasionally says the odd funny thing, which was really, really nice.
It's really nice.
It's really nice. So Psychopedia, I'm trying to get through that. There's
Right.
hundreds of episodes. So that, and then my next one is your one. Is it Noble?
Noble.
Noble. I'm going to listen to that. What else? And I listen to Mr. Ballin podcast, which is a crime podcast. A guy called Mr. Ballin, and he tells only half an hour. He tells a story.
See, I like it. That's a nice
It's
length.
good, but it's not conversational. So the other ones are like, chatting and conversational.
Yeah.
His are very well crafted,
Straight to
short,
the
half-hour
point.
stories, straight to the point. He tells you everything and what happened to this person, and you don't know till the very end who the murderer is. Whereas a lot of other podcasts are like, oh, there was this guy and he was a terrible person.
Started off with it.
But he reveals at the end. And then another one I listen to is Killer Psyche, who is a woman, you would like it. She was a psychiatric nurse
Oh.
for most of her career. And then in her later life, maybe 50s, she became an FBI profiler for serial killers, right?
Right.
And like she has had cases with massive serial killers. So each week she talks about a different serial killer, but she goes inside the mind to make them to make us find out why they did what they did. Were they born psychopaths? Did they become sociopaths? Were they abused by their parents? What
Whoa.
was wrong with them to make them do what they did? And it's incredible.
Love that.
So don't say we haven't given you enough recommendations. So
I
you say
know
Crime
it's all
Junkies,
very.
What else?
Crime junk. I love My Therapist Ghosted Me.
I don't listen to any comedy ones.
Joanne McNally, and I don't listen to it all the
Do you
time.
think I
but
would
just
like it?
sometimes. Some of them I really enjoy, and then others I really they're just okay. But I listen to Bimbo and Butch podcast. I listen to every single one,
You do listen to every single one.
and I actually
Sometimes
laugh
comes
out
on in the
loud.
car for me, and I'm like, turn that off.
Damon comes running under me saying, "You're on YouTube. Can I watch it?" And I feel no. You should see my fart in a jar.
I think one of the best podcasts that ever existed was My Dad Wrote a Porno. Do you know it?
No,
Oh, it was the #1 podcast for a long time. But for anybody who hasn't listened
I'm
to
going
it,
to go into that now. My
oh.
dad.
So I don't listen or watch comedy podcasts really, but this isn't really a comedy podcast, but it is hilarious. So there's this guy, and his best friends are Alice Levine, the Radio 1 DJ,
Yeah.
and James, I think's the other guy. So these three, and Jamie's the main guy. So these three best friends. So Jamie's the main guy. He's this straight guy, and James is this gay guy who's really high up in media, and Alice Levine is obviously Alice Levine. They're three best friends, and Jamie's dad is from Northern Ireland, and he has written a series of soft porn books.
Right.
Right, because 50 Shades came out, and he thought, here, boy, there's money in that there,
Fucking right.
And his main character is called Belinda Blumenthal, right? And the tagline is, please let me read this to you, because it's just so...
I don't know if that's something.
No, Jenna, it is so funny. And do you know what they do every week? They read it. Jamie reads a chapter of his dad's book out loud, and the three of them kill themselves laughing. And they talk about it's so funny. Let me see. Belinda Blumenthal is the main protagonist of the Belinda Blinked series, an erotic drama created by Rocky Flintstone. That's his pen name. She begins as an international sales director for Steele's Pots and Pans, and later rises to become a high-ranking corporate executive and spy, right? And it is seriously, see, right, the story is so ridiculous, and obviously there's loads of sex and all in it, but it's written by this, 60 or 70-year-old dad from Northern Ireland. It's all really, like, weird. Do you know?
Aye.
But it is so fun. And the fact that his son's having to read it, and his son's saying,
I'll try.
Oh, Dad.
I don't know
God, Dad.
if that's
Honestly,
something.
it is the funniest thing I've ever listened to.
Right. Will we have some more?
Yeah, more questions. That was a great question.
That was. Oh, this is in all capital letters. Biggest regrets?
Probably this podcast. Biggest regrets in life?
My bank balance says that now. But it just says biggest regrets.
I don't have many regrets because I always think everything that's happened
has happened for a reason.
Well, they've kind of happened and they've kind of shaped you and stuff.
Aye.
So I don't think there's any point regretting relationships or regretting experiences
No.
and stuff. So for me, I don't really have any.
I think maybe my biggest regret is not asking for help when I needed it. That's probably
That's
it.
a good one. That's a very good
Instead
one.
of keeping everything to myself, and then
Yeah.
the bomb exploded. So maybe just not asking for help.
I'm reaching out.
So this person wants to stay anonymous. They want to know more on OCD. They want to know more about the traits, the medication, because they're worried about their 17-year-old daughter.
Great question.
Good question. We can't give any information and medication though. But we can discuss traits, I suppose, and
Absolutely.
she's not given much context about why she's worried about her daughter, like what does she see in her daughter, but
Yeah, so probably traits-wise, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, it is where you have obsessive intrusive thoughts that you try and quell by compulsive behaviours. And it is not somebody who's tidy or organised or particular. It is really hellish, disturbing, awful, intrusive thoughts. And you think the only way to stop those is by engaging in behaviours and rituals. Is that what you would say?
yeah,
Yeah?
repetitive rituals.
Very, very repetitive. Maybe if we give an example of some of ours, it would help. So, one of mine would have been, I had this terrible fear that I was going to cough, but that doesn't sound bad. But it was an intrusive point to the point that I would not engage in anything that I thought would make me cough, because I thought if I coughed, I was going to stop breathing and then I was going to die. So I wouldn't eat a lot of specific types of food. If I ever had a gig, I wouldn't eat for 2 days before it. If I ever had a gig, I would need to have 8 bottles of 1 litre water bottles, all dotted around the stage in very specific areas. I would rearrange everything on the stage after the sound guys had already done it, so it's in just right place for me. I wouldn't talk for 2 days before a gig because I was terrified that was going to make me cough. I wouldn't be around anybody who was sick, but to the extreme, wouldn't go to the shops, wouldn't go. So mine was really keep me in the house. And the way for me those were the compulsive behaviours to quell the thoughts. And for me, medication was the only thing that helped. But if you wanna send us a private message, we can maybe give you a little bit more information. But I know we're both on medication.
Mine's was counting. So it was counting a lot. There would have been a stage like in this. I would know how many slats was on this panel here, how many tiles there was on the roof, how many legs were on every chair. Obviously 4, but like each combined. And it was really, really exhausting. That's what kept me in the house as well. So because if I didn't leave my home, I didn't have to count everything when I left. Then it got even worse whenever I was postpartum. So everything that I had to count was to protect Dannon, or else he would die. And it was just so exhausting to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. And that's when I should have asked for help. And it's totally normal to have those thoughts and feelings. And when you have OCD, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you're going through it and you're thinking, what the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah.
It is hard. But I think if someone's shown, if you're worried, if that person says, I'm worried about my daughter, then that's an indicator. See your GP.
Yeah. And for it to, they'll know, if you go to psychiatry, they'll know if it's OCD or if it's something else. But I think for it to be OCD, it has to have a significant functional impact on your everyday life. And I mean that might be spending hours in the house doing rituals, being hours late for things, not being able to touch certain things, not being able to be in the company of certain people. Like, it has to have a big impact. But if it is, you'll be able to get treated for it. So hopefully your daughter will be okay.
Yeah. So we'll go on to the next. Why is Emer so beautiful? Sent from Emer Maguire official.
That was not sent from me. That is an anonymous fan.
You need to grow up.
It's a mixture, I think, of genetics, and good lighting. I think, yeah, that's what I think's in it. But thank you so much.
Emer, you don't write back to my message, but you write in our question box.
I don't know what you're talking about.
On to the next.
No, what are you talking about?
Right. Can you please explain Jenna's back injury accident, because I'm confused. You say things like she can't stand, but then she is standing, so I feel like I missed some of it. Obviously, don't answer if too personal. Well,
that's a good question. That's from Jenna's pip assessor.
That's what I was trying to say. Is this pip?
That's a good question.
It is a good question, because
very good question.
I say accident because it is so long to sit and say I had quad equina syndrome, and as a result I have a spinal cord injury. So the base of my spine collapsed. It's a severe medical emergency, and the sooner that you have surgery, the less chance of life-limiting problems. Not life-limiting, but what would you say, impacting problems? Life-changing. So unfortunately when my spine collapsed, I was out of the hours of getting surgery. There's like a certain amount of hours that you should get the surgery for long-lasting impact. And I was outside of that. So I had 3 spinal surgeries within the space of 4 months. I was paralysed from the waist down. Had to learn how to walk again. But my left leg has 50% power, so I'd fall a lot. And I can stand, but I can only stand still for a certain length of time. I move a lot, like I'd rock and move and all that. So that's why you see me standing. I walk with a limp. I like to call it my gangster walk.
Yeah, because you can walk, but whenever we're out walking, you are limping away, like.
Aye.
Yeah. Or you're like, Emer, go and carry this, go and hold this, go and lift me.
Lift me, just put me over your shoulder. But the main problems for me is my bladder, my bowel are totally paralysed. My left ovary is completely paralysed. My left kidney, so everything from the left side is like gone.
Yeah.
So it is confusing for people, because when you say,
well, it's something so rare that people want to, like, cauda equina is not something people will have heard of, and
no,
and I think it's called cauda equina. It's something to do with, like, equina is obviously
horsetail,
and cauda is tail. So I think whenever it happens, your spine, because your spine is all these little fibers together, but when it happens in your spine, all the structure goes. Your spine fibers are kind of floating like a horse's tail, which is really interesting. But it's a very rare thing that people don't know. Those
nerves actually control the bowel, the bladder, the ovaries, all that. Yeah. So when my spine collapsed, it shot out and tangled. They all tangled on them nerves and pierced them. So all them nerves have been cut, and then hit into my spinal cord. So my spinal cord is incomplete. Which means I'm able to walk, which is great. But it does impact me. Sometimes it looks like it doesn't, but it does every day. I still have to get used to it every day, but it confuses a lot of people. I mean, I have a blue badge, and the amount of times that I've been questioned over why you can't park there, and I'm like, why not? And they're like, well, you have to be disabled, and I'm like,
dragging your leg behind
I'm like, what do you mean disabled? Like, what the hell? So I ended up having an argument one day with a really old man. It's always an old man, always an old man, and he was like, that's not you, that's not your badge. And I was like, the photo on it is me, it's mine. Then I showed him my scar, and I was like, why am I fighting with this man in the doctor's car park over a disabled parking space? And he was like, well, I am ringing your surgeon immediately, and I am telling him that you are okay to walk. And I was like, you're fucking crazy. You deserve the disabled space more than me. Yeah. But my scar, do you know what? Did you ever see my scar?
I have seen it. I don't know if Julia has seen it.
I can't remember. 4 having 3. Is that low enough? Can you see?
That's just her crack.
It looks like an extra long ass crack. But for having 3 spinal cord surgeries, it's not bad, is it not? So it's confusing for people, because people be like, I thought you were in a horrific car accident, like Emer.
That's what I thought.
And the injuries that I'm left with are like that you have been.
But it's just easier to say accident.
It's just so much easier.
Instead of saying cauda equina syndrome, the people don't
quad
understand.
Equina. But I am in a quad equina support group, which is very good.
Oh, very good.
I know. Get a lot of support through that from the people.
Is there people in Northern Ireland?
No, it's so rare.
I was thinking, because you wouldn't even have enough people here who would get it.
No, it's so rare. It's mostly Americans. They'd be like, hey guys,
God help
how
me.
much did you anally irrigate this morning? And I'd be like, 200 mils.
Happy
No.
Dave.
Right, so we've got another
That was
one.
a good question. Thank you for that.
That was a good question
Mhm.
because she actually posted this on the picture of me and I'm standing with you in heels
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
which I am actually balancing on you with the heels. There's certain, like, I love the way I love my life now so easy because I have certain things that I can do to make my life easier. So yesterday, for example, tying my son's shoelace, he helps me down.
Uh-huh.
And he holds my shoulders to keep me balanced. I tie his lace and he helps me back up.
Yeah.
But we just have this system and he
You
helps
just
me
know
a
what
lot.
to do.
Like, we just have this thing and I know what to do to make things. I know we did it in the middle of KFC yesterday and a woman was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And he'll open the car door for me and he'll bring in, I don't need to ask him to lift anything anymore, he just does it. Mommy has a sore back and that's it. What conspiracy theory would you love to believe is real? What do you mean? What does that mean?
What conspiracy theory would you love to believe is real? I'm not a big conspiracy theory head. Well, the one you love is that Marilyn Monroe was...
Marilyn Monroe. I would really like to believe that Marilyn Monroe and Princess Diana weren't topped off. But I don't believe that. I believe they were. And nothing will change my mind on it.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the Marilyn one, as we know.
Christ,
But otherwise,
I'll tell you
yeah.
everything.
What other conspiracy theories are there? I don't really
What
know
about the
many.
moon landing?
Well, I mean, obviously I believe in that as a science lover. But it would
Do you believe it as a science lover, or do you
Yeah.
believe it?
I believe it 100%. That the moon landing happened.
Aye.
Of course I believe
So
it.
why is there so much conspiracy around it?
So basically people were like, the flag in the video is moving and there's no
Air in
there's
space?
no air in space. But then scientists have come out and said, well, actually, the flag is moving for a specific reason and it's because of the atmosphere in space that the flag, it's an illusion that it's moving. I don't really know the science behind it 100%.
I don't know, the scientist said the scientist.
Said the scientist in Bimbo. But I just think it's it would be such a weird thing to make up. But I mean, I don't care. Conspiracies or not that people believe, I don't
It's
care. I just
so
think it's
weird.
interesting.
What about the Malaysian airline? Do you ever hear about
where
that?
it disappeared?
Aye. So
So-
nothing has ever come of that.
So I find that so bizarre. Like, where?
Wonder if there's any podcasts on that I could listen to in the
Well,
way
there's a
home.
documentary on Netflix. You can't watch that on the way home, but there will definitely be podcasts about it.
I'm going to have to get a
But
podcast.
but the TV show is basically like, where is it? Who knows? Nobody knows.
So the TV show just give us nothing.
Yeah, it was a good watch, but give us
But did
nothing.
it not tell anything about like what happened leading up to the final where it disappeared or like
I
what
can't
was going
remember now
on,
because I
or-
watched it about a year ago, but stuff like that, like where airplanes disappear and all, I find that weird, but really interesting. But if anybody knows any good conspiracy theories, let us know because we don't know that many. Julie, do you know any?
No.
I only really know the moon landing, obviously the common ones during COVID about the injections.
Yeah.
You know, I had a relative say to me, the injections, Bill Gates tracking you. And I says, what tracking you doing what? Going to Aston Strabane? Like, do you think Bill Gates cares about that?
Did you get your injections?
Yeah.
And then
I had to get them because I was working as a speech language therapist at the time.
Then did
So I
you
got
get
them
your
before
pulmonary
everybody else.
embolism before or after?
After. I know, let's not start any vicious rumours here.
Because when I went to, I never got them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't going anywhere and I didn't know what was in them.
I had to get them. I wasn't allowed to see patients without getting them.
You had to get them. You were working
Had
in
no
healthcare.
choice, yeah.
Healthcare had no choice or else you
Yeah.
just couldn't work. I never got them because I was in the house doing nothing. But I remember going to A&E for my leg had swollen up and they thought it was a possible clot and the first thing they asked was did I get my COVID injection?
They did ask me that too.
Mm.
So
that is a massive
So that's
conspiracy
another
theory.
conspiracy theory that I know about.
Mm.
Don't know enough information on. And obviously COVID, but where did it start? Why did it start? But outside of those, I'm not really that educated in other ones.
Aye.
So, if anybody is, tell us them. Write in the comments
What
about
about,
conspiracy theories that you believe.
Do you ever think though you have to be like a conspiracy theorist? Like you have to be really into conspiracy theory
Like a
to know
fanatic.
about them. Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
to find holes in stories and stuff.
yeah,
Absolutely.
like everything's a conspiracy theory. Like I know somebody who would be a very big conspiracy theorist, and
It's Julie.
I know it's not me. But, like, I just can't even listen to it because I'm just like, oh, here we go. Here's another conspiracy theory. Everything's a conspiracy theory.
There's definitely a specific personality type
Yeah.
who seems to be conspiracy theorists because, you know, whenever there's people say on my Instagram or whatever who are conspiracy theorists, it's always the same people over and over.
What do they say?
No, just who would post about their own conspiracy theories about,
right.
you know, about COVID or about whatever. But it would always be the same people, do you know, and no matter what, there's a conspiracy about it. Do you know what I
What about
mean?
the conspiracy theory about Britney Spears? Britney Spears died a long time ago, and now the Britney Spears that we see on our screens going mad in her house with knives and all is not real Britney.
Well, I've never heard that, but I mean, I feel I feel very sorry for her.
Oh,
She seems very vulnerable.
she was arrested last week.
Was she?
Drunk driving.
I feel sorry because she clearly has mental health difficulties.
I know.
And was put in a very precarious position by all these music moguls and her family and everything. And it probably wasn't the place for her. It's so
No,
sad and all
it
that
is.
pressure. And when I see the videos of her, I just think, you're so lost and you're so vulnerable. Do we have time for one more question? A quick one?
We actually have. Who would win a fight out of you two and why?
I'm offended that that's even been... Julie, who do you think?
I'm not getting involved.
I mean, I'm at least twice the weight of Jenna.
They didn't
I would
ask
just
which.
sit on you.
They asked who would win a fight.
Well, let's do the math.
A boxing match,
I'm twice your weight.
right?
You're paralysed.
Partially.
We were at the gym and you weren't able to lift any of the objects and I lifted you off the ground. I'm going to guess, I think you could be vicious.
Yeah.
You would use one hand to claw my eyes out. But I think in a fight, there would be no questions.
Do you know I've never been in a fight? I've never lifted my hand in my life. I've never been in a
Really?
fight. Never.
I've never started a fight either.
That's a great way to say that you've been in a fight. Tell us more.
No, I haven't. I remember whenever I was like a teenager or
Fisticuffs.
something. Fisticuffs, yeah, with boys.
Oh.
I've
Wow.
never ever been in a fight with a
Proper
girl.
punching.
Yeah,
I would love to
not started
punch
by me.
just to get the experience. Just to
Um,
say I punched someone in the face.
Oh God, I wouldn't want to. I'm very gentle.
No, but like
Gentle puncher.
I
I'm a
would
gentle
never.
puncher.
I
Gentle
would
puncher.
never hit someone.
No, neither would I.
But see, even if someone
unless
hit me,
someone
I
was
would
a very
still be
specific
afraid.
situation and someone hit you and you had to defend yourself.
Oh, if I had to defend it, I'd
Then-
probably curdle and do a
then
ball and
yes.
cry.
But I would never. It's just not. It's not in me. It's not my.
There
I think
was
if you're aggressive, you're aggressive. But it's not. It's not in me. And I think most girls are not generally aggressive. Do you
there
know?
was one more comment that I wanted to read out quickly. Sorry, Julie, because it's about Julie.
Oh.
Why does this make me nervous?
Right, so it says, "Hi, I'm Julie's sister.
What?
And I can confirm that the story about her sitting on the knee of the wee lady and having a ride in her mobility scooter is in fact true. Also, she does actually have a dog called Indy, and we did live in Japan. We love the podcast."
Oh, that's your sister.
Aw.
What's your sister's name?
I can imagine that was probably Melanie, was it?
Shout out to Melanie.
Julie, it was you? No, Mellors?
Aye,
So
yeah.
Melanie.
Mellors.
Thank you,
Aw.
Melanie.
Thank you. We're glad you liked the podcast. See the amount of
And we
times-
love you covering up for your sister's lies.
Yeah, the amount of times Julie bitches about you guys. She's slagged you off. That's
Special
lovely.
you,
Your
Melanie.
family watches. Our families don't watch.
No, I do.
That is great. I get loads of messages all the time saying we love you guys and Julie
Aye.
and even Julie.
And even Julie.
We get that all the time.
Spat.
And even Julie. Thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast. We give a shout out to our sponsors.
Let's give a shout out.
Because we're meant to do it in the middle of the podcast, and then we get into the flow and we forget.
We always
So
forget.
our first sponsor, our main sponsor on the Podium Prizes, we've teamed up with them to do a special competition. They're giving out £500 for a voucher. Free entry, so go on their Instagram and on their website on thepodiumprizes.com to enter that. And we also have another sponsor for this episode.
We have Danos Pet Store. They have one in Strabane, Emer's hometown.
Strabanistan!
One in Derry, my hometown. And they also have online as well, which is danospetshop.co.uk and their own dog food brand.
Yep, they've got everything: dog food, toys,
Cat food.
bedding, cat food,
Fish.
mystery box. Excuse me.
Fish.
Oh, no, actual fish.
Yeah.
Today. Fish, birds, everything. So
All animal related.
Yeah, so go to On the Podium Prizes for your Sephora voucher, and go to Danos Petshop for all your animal needs.
And thank you so much to both those companies and businesses for sponsoring us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast.
Absolutely, because Julie is
A fortune.
She's sticking a hand in, isn't she?
Yes.
She's loaded. We're paying her mortgage. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you all next week. And join the Patreon and come to our Belfast show.
And Derry.
Bye.
Bye.